David, thanks for joining us out here in Abu Dhabi. Just quickly give us a wee bit of an insight into yourself and your role here.
Yep, so a bit of background about myself. Started with the club in 2022. Funny story actually about that. Got the job when we played Dortmund away. I was there. Got the email as I came out the stadium, just beat Dortmund 4-2, and then got the job notification to say I've got a job with Rangers. So was delighted. A bit of a dream come true to start working with the club that I grew up supporting. So yeah, it was really good. And then moved over here in August 2022 to support the programme with Mark Suter. So yeah, it's been an excellent experience so far over here.
What's that like as a fan that's travelled home and away in Europe and things like that, finally getting the opportunity to work for the club?
Dream come true. Obviously the dream was to play, but quite honestly that just wasn't realistic. But my passion for football never changed, so took up coaching through various different roles, and then started working with Rangers, as I said, 2022. So yeah, it was a dream come true.
How do you think things have developed with the academy in the last 2-3 years?
We inherited a programme which we didn't know what we were going to get. In the first week we had 24 sign-ups out of under 8s, 10s, 12s, 14s, 16s, 18s, and at that point we didn't even have a girls programme. So 24 kids over that amount of age groups wasn't particularly great. I think it was a bit daunting at the time because we didn't know what we were going to do to grow it. We had so many ideas, but it's like how do we grow this? How do we get the numbers to where we want it to get to? And then it just slowly started to build through word of mouth. Obviously I think the massive thing for us has been the coaching. I think all of our coaches have done an amazing job, past and present. I think a lot of them have done a really great job to help build the programme. Obviously Mark and I, since we arrived here, have worked tirelessly to grow the programme. It's took a lot of manpower, a lot of effort, a lot of hours, but it's been worth it to see it grow from 24 to roughly 200 kids now. To see us compete in the leagues, as I said, I remember the very first victory we had with our only team in the league was our under 12s at the time, which is now our under 14s. In 2022, the kids were playing Man City, and the kids were petrified because we weren't doing so well, and we beat them 3-2. And from then, it's just seemed to have galvanised everybody. I always say that age group has been sort of the main pillar behind the growth of the academy. And that age group just now under 14 is sitting with around 50 to 60 kids. So the numbers that we now have throughout the full academy is, it's a testament to all the hard work that the coaches have done.
How does that feel, having an influence on young kids, young players, both on and off the pitch?
To work with kids, as I said, I've spoken to a few parents, and they can be, they're not the most focused in school, is the way I'll put it, but they come to football and I just don't get that vibe from them at all. We're not just there to develop players. I know that's quite a common phrase, but obviously we want to develop young people off the pitch as well. You know, we want to make sure they're going into school with a good attitude, we want to make sure they're behaving on and off the pitch, but we feel like it can be an outlet for them at football, and they all absolutely love it.
What's kind of the makeup of, I guess, the nationalities across the different age groups? Because I imagine it's not all just Scottish.
No, far from it. In fact, we don't actually have that many Scottish players, to be honest. If I was to take a stab at it, and based on the work Mark and I have done recently, I would say probably got around 50 nationalities, 50 plus nationalities, from all over Europe, all over the Middle East. We've got a few Canadians, a few Americans. The different backgrounds that you get to work with on a day-to-day basis is amazing. Because as I said, coming over here at the first, you don't know what to expect with various different nationalities. The one thing I've had to do is try and slow down with the talking to make sure everybody can understand me. That's still a work in progress. I'm sure a lot of the parents will attest to, but yeah, it's been a great experience, and to see some of the kids develop over the last 2 years has been amazing.
As a Rangers fan, do you find that you've then been giving parents and kids information on the club that they didn't know before?
Non-stop. It broke my heart speaking to some people and they just had no idea who the club were, and now like all my players, they're always asking about the likes of Tav, the likes of Jack Butland, previous players. You know, I always tell them my hero growing up was Barry Ferguson, and then I remember a kid came and spoke to him about him. He's like, I'd done a bit of research about him with the academy trips that we've ran to Glasgow, especially this year. This year we had 22 players come with us and a parent, and they absolutely loved the experience. But there's a kid in particular, Ben Ellis. He's from Australia, full family from Australia, and fully bought into the club now, like fully died in the Will Rangers fan. And that's a buzz, but that wouldn't happen without the academy being here, you know. And yeah, it's been great to see.
Has anything surprised you about coming out here to be a coach?
The background of a lot of players has, you know, just seeing so many, like from Scotland, working in grassroots, working with Rangers, you know, you're dealing with a lot of talented Scottish players who all have the same mentality. It's win, 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 and it's very aggressive. Over here, that isn't really the case, but I think a lot of players have started to develop that. Like the under-14s we've mentioned, we've got 2 of the age groups currently sitting first in the league. Hopefully that ends the case as well. We finish top of the league, but I think it's very important that, yeah, we're a club open to all, we're inclusive, we bring everybody in, we're more than welcome regardless of age, ability. We've got everybody, we've got something for everybody, but we also think that competitive side is important as well as the inclusive side.
How do you think you've developed individually as a coach?
Oh, massively. As we spoke about earlier, having to slow down for a start when I'm talking to the kids and the parents, but my background in coaching was a lot of youth football, but it was a lot of grassroots football in Scotland, you know, so it's dealing with a lot of Scottish kids from very, very similar backgrounds. Over here, so many diverse backgrounds, so getting to work with that and experience that has been quite good for me to develop as a coach, but working with different age groups as well. Like until I came over here, a handful of sessions back in Glasgow, but I'd never worked with under-8s, never worked with an age group that young, so it's been a learning curve for me to develop sessions, to plan sessions that are good enough for the kids, that they're having fun. Obviously that age, you want them on the ball as much as possible, we want them having fun, want them engaging with the coaches, want them engaging with their fellow players and teammates. So yeah, but then to go from under-8s to when I first came, I was doing under-18s, which that's a walk in the park. You know, I love that age group because you can put on sessions that are age appropriate, ability appropriate. Same with the under-14s, which has just been a constant growth. So it's certainly developed me as a person, not just a coach.
What do Rangers as the club gain most from having an academy?
Well, there's so many different things. For me, as I've mentioned, young Ben, you know, he's now a dyed-in-the-wool Rangers fan. I think to grow our supporter base in the Middle East is pretty important. And it's definitely helping the club, you know, whether it's just watching the TV, growing the fan base. You know, we've got 2 supporters clubs in the Middle East. The Dubai Supporters Club is massive over here, and I think us being here has made everybody feel slightly closer to the club as well. You know, because you do have a very, very big supporters club in Dubai, a smaller one in Abu Dhabi, but still a massive Rangers community in the UAE. And I think us being here has kind of brought those in these supporters clubs and the Rangers fans in the Middle East closer to the club, knowing they've got something for their Rangers supporting kids. They can interact with us, you know, we go and watch the games with them as well, and yeah, it's been very interactive. So
how would you like to see things develop over the next 2, 3, 4 years?
So as we spoke about earlier, to have 200 kids now is it's an achievement considering where we started 2 years ago and the way we've grew the academy and why people want to be within the academy. But that 200 to me, and I'm sure Mark will be the same, is just the start. You know, we want to be one of the biggest academies in Abu Dhabi. We want to compete with those that are already here and have been here for years and years and years. You know, we don't want sessions to become overcrowded, we don't want the quality to drop, we want to make sure that we're building it the way we want to build it, and you maintain the quality of session, you maintain the coach to player ratio, all that sort of stuff. So we always want to deliver the best possible product to the players and obviously the parents as well.